Most men think aura is something you either have or you don't. They're wrong. Aura is not a vibe, it's a verdict. The moment you walk into a room, people are already deciding who you are. Not from your words, from your energy, your presence. The invisible signal your entire system broadcasts before you speak. 5 psychology secrets, backed by science. And point 5 is so powerful, so fundamentally different from everything else you'll hear today, that I need you to watch until the end. Because point 5 will reframe every other point you hear today into something you'll actually use. Watch until the end. That's where everything clicks. Let's go. Secret 1. Silence is your strongest weapon. Most men talk too much. They fill every silence. They explain every decision. They justify every choice. And every word they add makes them smaller. Here's the neuroscience. When you speak under social pressure, when you feel the need to fill silence, your amygdala is running the show. The amygdala is the brain's threat detection center. It interprets silence as danger, and it pushes you to talk your way out of discomfort. Men with powerful auras have learned to override that signal. Research by Albert Mehrabian shows that when your words and body language conflict, people trust the nonverbal signal almost every time. Your presence speaks louder than your vocabulary. Silence communicates more than most men say in an hour. When someone challenges you, say nothing. When someone asks a question that doesn't deserve an answer, say nothing. When the room is waiting for you to react, don't. That pause, that stillness, that refusal to perform, that is the aura people feel before they can explain why. The man who controls his silence controls the room. But silence alone isn't enough if what people see contradicts it. Secret 2. Your appearance speaks first. You have 7 seconds. That's how long Princeton psychologists Janine Willis and Alexander Todorov found it takes for people to form a complete first impression of you. Not 7 minutes, 7 seconds. And in those 7 seconds, your words are completely irrelevant. What speaks is your grooming, your posture, your eye contact, and the intentionality behind how you carry yourself. Here's what the research shows. Harvard Business School professor HIMCODE found that people make 2 snap judgments simultaneously. Can I trust this person? Can I respect this person? These judgments are formed before your mouth opens. Your appearance is not vanity, it's communication. Clean hair, maintained skin, clothes that fit, not just clothes that exist. Posture that says, I know exactly where I am and why I'm here. Eye contact that doesn't flinch. When all of these align, the brain of the person across from you reads a single signal. This man has standards. And standards are the foundation of every powerful aura. Your appearance communicates who you are at a frequency most men never consciously broadcast. Start broadcasting. But even a perfect appearance gets undermined instantly by one thing most men do without realizing it. Secret 3. Stop explaining yourself. This is one of the most underrated aura destroyers. Every time you explain yourself without being asked, you shrink. Here's the psychology. Dr. Robert Cialdini's research on social influence shows that justification increases compliance. When you explain yourself, you're essentially asking for the other person's approval. And the moment you seek approval, you've handed them the power. People with powerful auras make decisions and move. They don't announce them. They don't apologize for them. They don't over-explain them. This isn't arrogance, it's self-trust. There's also a neurological dimension. Mirror neurons, discovered by neuroscientist Giacomo Rizzolatti at the University of Parma, are part of the brain's social circuitry. When you watch a calm, self-assured man who needs no validation, your brain's social circuitry registers that calm as safe, as trustworthy, as powerful. That's why composed men are felt before they're understood. Stop explaining. Start deciding. And once you've stopped explaining, the next step is about who you let into your space. Secret 4. Protect your energy like capital. Your energy is a resource, and like all resources, it can be wasted. Dr. Nicholas Christakis and James Fowler at Harvard conducted a landmark study on social contagion. Their conclusion? Emotions, behaviors, and energy levels spread through social networks like viruses. If you spend your time around people who are anxious, negative, and draining, you will eventually mirror that state. Not consciously, neurologically. Emotional contagion is real. Your nervous system absorbs the emotional frequency of the people closest to you. Men with powerful auras are ruthless about this. Not cruel, ruthless. They choose their environment the way elite athletes choose their training ground, with intention. This doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means being selective about who gets access to your presence, your time, and your energy. Because your energy is your aura. Let it drain to the wrong people and your aura dims. Protect it fiercely and it becomes undeniable. Now, point 5. I told you at the beginning to watch until here. This is why. Because everything you've heard so far is technique. What comes next is identity. Secret 5. Build your alter ego. I know what this sounds like. It sounds like something soft, something abstract, something you've heard before and dismissed. It's not. This is the most powerful aura-building method that exists, and it's the only one that actually sticks. Here's the science first. Dr. Todd Herman, performance coach and author of The Alter Ego Effect, has worked with Olympic athletes, professional sports stars, and Fortune 500 leaders for over 20 years. His research shows that identity-level change is the only change that lasts. Habit change fails. Motivation fails. Discipline alone fails. But when a man changes who he believes he is, his behavior follows automatically. Psychologist William James at Harvard, considered the father of American psychology, wrote in 1890 that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes. Modern neuroscience confirms this. When you consistently act from a new identity, you create new neural pathways, new default behaviors, new automatic responses. The brain doesn't know the difference between who you are and who you consistently choose to be. So here's what I want you to do. Build your alter ego. Think of it like a video game character. You are the player. Your alter ego is the character you're building. Give him a name if you want. But more importantly, define exactly who he is. How does he walk into a room? How does he respond to disrespect? How does he carry himself when no one is watching? What does he wear? How does he speak? What does he tolerate? What does he refuse? Then, for the next 30 days, play him. Every single day. Inside and outside. In the supermarket. In the gym. At work. On a date. Alone in your apartment. This is not pretending. This is practice. And here is the key to making it work. Because without this, it won't. Identity shifts need time. They need space. They need awareness. If you don't do this consciously, it slips away. You go back to autopilot. So you make it a game. Men like playing, isn't it? And so do you, right? Every week you play your character consistently, you earn a reward. You decide the reward in advance. Week 1, a dinner at a restaurant you actually want to go to. Week 2, a massage. Week 3, a day trip somewhere. Week 4, a date you've been putting off. You're not rewarding yourself for being disciplined. You're rewarding yourself for becoming someone. After 30 days of playing him, you won't be playing anymore. You'll just be him. That's when the aura becomes real. Not performed, not constructed, just who you are. That's the HIMCODE.